Welcome to Tea and Cornbread, a conversation with Sean and Tracy, where warmth, wisdom, and community come together. Just like a good meal shared with loved ones, our podcast brings heartfelt conversations with incredible people who are making a difference.
We spotlight community leaders, change makers, and everyday heroes who uplift, encourage, and support those around them. Grab a cup of tea, pull up a chair, and join us as we share inspiring stories, real talk, and a whole lot of love. Because when we come together, we nourish more than just our bodies, we feed our souls. Hey, this is Tea and Cornbread with Sean and Tracy. I'm Tracy.
And I'm Sean.
Hey, my sister, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was nice. It was good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Did a little, there was so much going on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Lots of health fairs going on. Mm-hmm. As I mentioned before, you were represented at you did a health fair too.
I was, it was a coping with depression workshop, seminar, event.
Okay.
For people that may be dealing with seasonal depression.
Did you get a good crowd? I didn't even.
Yeah, there was. I mean, it wasn't my event. I was invited.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did. They had about maybe 25, 30 people.
Good. There was a few things going on Saturday, so I kind of get that.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing because there were a couple people that did their testimonies on how they coped with it, and how people put on that facade, and you look good on the outside, but you're dying on the inside. Yeah. And how they got through it, and clinically and through faith. You know what I'm saying? So it was good.
And hopefully they reach someone else. So,
yeah, and there were a few men there too, which is different. Nice. Usually men don't come to those type of things. But your cousin was one of the speakers. He was excellent. Dwayne. Yeah, he was talking about his time. Yep. And how he uses exercise as a way of relief. Yeah. And you talk about that all the time.
Yeah. Exercise is great.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that because on Saturday, I think I was talking to a young man in the gym, and he's usually not there on Saturdays. He's there Monday through Fridays. And I said, "Oh, odd to see you here." He says, "I got so much stuff going on in my brain. I had to come to the gym." I said, "I get it. I get it." I said, "I'll leave you to it," and just walked away from him. So everybody's going through something. So
absolutely, good or bad, you know. But exercise is good for a lot of people.
Definitely.
All right. What about you? You said you went to the health fair at the Q.
At the Q. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was good too. That was good. They had a few vendors out there. I mean, 10 or so different vendors out there. And we double dutched with Power in Your Body. Okay. So that was fun. So that was good.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm super excited about today's guest.
I know.
Yeah, we're happy to have you.
We're honored to have you here.
Yes, we're honored.
We're honored to have you here.
Yes, Attorney Charles Green.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Yes. We're going to have a good time. This is going to be a good conversation. But what we do, Charles, is we breathe, and then we read devotional, and then we go into the conversation. So, because what?
I don't have devotional.
It's all right. Listen, these phones will save us sometime.
The same way, yeah.
Yeah, they'll save us sometime, even though, let me see. I'm going to read today's verse of the day.
Okay. It
says Isaiah 43, King James Version. We didn't breathe first. We were supposed to breathe first. But anyway, okay. The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Lord. Make straight in the desert a highway for our God.
Amen.
All right.
Amen.
So what we do is we rub our hands together and conjure up some energy. And we do this to calm our nerves. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it don't look like, we nervous, but we are. And then we're going to inhale through our nose. We're going to do it 3 times. You put your feet flat and exhale through your mouth. Ready? Mm-hmm. I'll do this. Go. When we're inhaling our intent for this conversation, and exhaling all that doesn't serve us. All right, one more time. You might get a little dizzy if this is the first time doing it, but it's giving your brain some oxygen. All right, all right.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to introduce our guest.
Yes, yes.
He is attorney Charles E. Green Jr., a senior assistant public defender for the state of Connecticut. He's worked for the division practicing criminal defense law at the Waterbury's Superior Court in Waterbury, Connecticut for over 18 years. He holds a Juris Doctorate from Southern New England School of Law, now known as the University of Massachusetts School of Law. He has served in various capacities in the legal arena in Connecticut, New York, and Massachusetts. He earned his undergraduate degree in public science from the State University of New York College of Fredonia.
Correct.
Okay. And his master's degree in political science from the City of New York at Brooklyn College. With a vast portfolio of experience, Attorney Green is known for his steadfast commitment to the law and defending the rights of the citizens of Connecticut. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having
Awesome.
me, ladies.
Yes.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you for carving out the time to come
Right.
and sit with us.
'Cause
It's
you're
my
a
pleasure, ladies.
busy man.
Yes.
My pleasure, ladies.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, so let's get right into this interview.
Okay. Let's go.
And one of the things that I always want to know from people is what made you go this route with your career?
First and foremost, again, I thank the two of you for having the insight. Also having the willingness to want me to be on your show. It's a very honor. It's a
Thank
privilege.
you.
And I've been looking forward to this since I
Nice.
was first asked
Nice.
Yeah.
several months ago. So, so
You're a
I'm very
busy
happy.
man. You're a busy
I'm
man.
very happy to be here. So first and foremost, because your platform is one that's needed, it's one that's appreciated, and you guys bring a wealth of information to your listeners. So thank you for the job that
Thank
you
you.
guys do and continue doing what is necessary, which is bringing information to the community. So thank you again. I think it was at the end of the day, it was a calling from the man above. I'm not going to say it was anything other than that because I do have a very strong foundation in personal injury law,
Okay.
and I've done some contract law before going to law school and during law school. And I will tell you that when you graduate law school, those bills start to amount. And sometimes you take the first thing that you're given or you have an opportunity to do. I actually wanted to always help folks. I did want it to go into corporate, but again, the division came knocking.
Okay.
The Division of Public Defender Services came knocking, and they told me that they wanted me, and I felt welcomed.
Yeah.
And from then on, you have almost 18 years of serving the folks and citizens of Connecticut, specifically Waterbury, Connecticut. So
Okay.
as I've been told, I'm doing God's work. I consider myself a servant more than anything, and that's how I'm here.
Awesome. No, really, that is awesome to hear because I'm pretty sure this job is tough.
It's very tough. It's a thankless job.
Yeah.
However, I don't want to say thankless in the sense that it's negative. It's not.
Okay.
It's not negative in a thankless way
Mm-hmm.
because at the end of the day, I will tell you, practicing for 18 years, I've only received one thank you letter or thank you card. However, that one thank you card is exactly what I needed
Yeah.
and what I look at every time I go in my office. But that's not what sums up what I do because sometimes I don't get those thank you cards. You know what I get? When I'm walking on the town green, when I'm in the mall,
They're yelling your name.
and they say, "Thank you, Attorney Green, for
See?
helping me. I remember you.
Yeah.
You were my attorney.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you. You helped my nephew."
Mm.
The verbal stuff, the acknowledgement is what goes even further.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you remember
Mm-hmm.
from day one. So those are the things that get you through. The commitment to continue to help people.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I believe that's one of our purposes is to help the less fortunate in some way or fashion.
I agree. I agree, and that's awesome. Like you just said, that when you see people out in public, that they remember you. People don't always sit down and write letters. They don't
Exactly.
always say thank you, but at the end of the day, they're listening and they're paying attention.
Exactly.
So that must make you like walk up straight and be like, yes.
Well, it gives you a sense of satisfaction, that what you're doing is making a difference.
Right.
Sometimes progress is slow, but it's progress no matter what.
No matter what.
Yeah.
So you don't know who you're helping. You could be helping someone out of a jam that becomes the next mayor of Waterbury. You never
Right.
know,
Right.
especially if they're a younger person.
Yeah.
If you're helping them avoid charges, avoid convictions, or making those things lesser than what they originally started as, will also help them. And on a way, you're educating them as well about the system, which is one of the biggest things that I like to do, is educate folks about our criminal justice system, because it's just not representing individuals. I don't want my clients to walk away and not learn something from me,
Right.
or more importantly, me not learn something from them. I think it's a two-way street.
Yeah,
that's
that's
awesome.
I was just about to say the same thing. That because how many people care? You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
You're
It's a
you're
job
coming,
to some
right.
people.
You're
It's just
coming
a
from
job.
a sense of purpose and a sense of heart.
Mhm.
In caring what that person knows and understands about the situation they may be in. Because if they leave there and they go to jail or not, and they don't understand what even happened, then how could they even make better choices
Right.
later?
They're
Exactly.
doomed to
You know?
repeat it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's great. That's great. And that's all ages, and you represent, you're not representing just youth, right?
No, I've had the opportunity to represent juveniles. I've represented older folks, adults, children in child protection cases as well,
Okay.
domestic violence cases,
Mhm.
and the simple trespasses, assaults, and things of that nature.
So the gamut.
The gamut, yes. I've started off at what they call the GA, or the geographical area, which in another word is low court. I worked there for about 11 years, earned my stripes there, and then moved on to the judicial district, which is called Part A, or High Court.
Okay.
And I've been there since 2017,
Okay.
handling the more serious cases, murders, high profile drug cases, gun cases, and things of that nature.
Okay.
Wow.
So my reason for asking you to be on the show is because I was in the room with you, and you talked about doing like a mock trial
Correct.
for children. Like you just said, you like to educate people on the judicial system. So talk about that, and why. Why do you have that passion for that, specifically for kids, or young adults? What brings that? What brings that to you?
Education, first and
Okay.
foremost. I just think that we have to do a better job at educating our youth about systems, ways of living, how to go about asking the right questions, and most importantly, knowing how to identify situations that they're in and how to go about or navigate those situations. So we did a mock trial with Granville Academy,
Okay.
which was also helped out by the links here in Waterbury as well. So we helped out, and of course, my chapter of Lambda Rho chapter of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, the greatest chapter ever founded.
Okay. All right. Y'all heard that, right?
Yes. We were working in partnership with those two other organizations, and I was asked to develop, not really develop, but because the concept was there, but I was asked to pick it back up
Okay.
and get a program together. So what we did was we got local lawyers to act as tutors and group leaders, and we had the children who would come on every Saturday participate. So you had children that were witnesses, state's attorneys, criminal defense attorneys.
Nice.
We did have a real judge come in and sit with a robe, with a gavel,
Okay.
and we had a real hypothetical case fact pattern. And what they did was they actually went about the process of coming up with a defense, coming up with strategies, having pretrial negotiations. When those didn't work out, which was planned, that was part of the plan because we were heading to a trial.
Right.
Okay.
So we had it worked out where there wasn't going to be any agreements because we put it in there that way where the defendant at the time wouldn't take any offers.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to a trial, and we went through picking the jury. We went through calling witnesses. We had actually my children at the time. My oldest daughter Janelle, she was one of the state's attorneys, and my son was one of the witnesses. So they were able to participate thoroughly in the program that day, and it was a great success. Like I said before, we had several different attorneys. Tishon Bowden Lewis, the former chief public defender, came down and helped out.
That's so awesome.
And she did a
Oh
great
my
job.
goodness.
And we did a great job, and the kids did great. They really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping very soon we'll have that again.
Nice.
The plan is to get back down at Jonathan Reed School
Okay.
and get
do
back
it
in there again. Yes.
Call me to be a lawyer.
Of course. Of course. You got it.
Call me. I want to be a lawyer.
You got it. You got it. You got it.
And should be a good one too.
You got it.
That's awesome. Well, hopefully, I'm sorry.
No,
Hopefully, after doing those mock trials, you got some of those students that participated saying that's what they want to do. That's
Yeah.
their
Exactly.
field that they want to
Yeah.
go into. It really sounds so interesting sitting
Yes.
here as a grown lady. I'm like,
Ready.
when is it time for the adults? Because I'm in.
All right.
I'm
Sounds
in.
good. Sounds good.
You're never too old. Never too
Not
old to go
at
to
all.
school. So yeah, that sounds like it was really, really great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you came from all aspects of the court system.
Exactly.
Because it's almost like going to the doctors where they scare you about going to the doctors, or they
Yes.
scare you about going to court, or
Yeah.
And so for you to have then you had tutors. So how long did it take for you guys to prep them?
I would say about 2 weeks.
That's it.
Yeah, about 2 weeks. See, the foundation was already there.
Okay.
Changing up a couple of sentences here and
Mhm.
there was the easy part. The hardest part was just getting, to be quite honest with you, was getting the adult help. And what I mean by that is the scheduling.
Right.
Oh.
It
Okay.
wasn't the want or the desire. It was
Right.
just the scheduling.
Mm-hmm.
What we're hoping to do this time around, this rotation, is now that I believe that I have some stake in the city of Waterbury and also in 400 Grand Street, that's where the criminal court building is, I'm going to try to bring that into the
actual
courthouse and get one of the courtrooms
Mhm.
Right.
to actually have the mock trial. So we'll have a judge sitting where the judge sits, the witnesses in the witness boxes, the jury in the jury box. We have 2 tables there, one for the defense, one for the state, and we have the galley where visitors will come in.
Mhm.
So that's the next step, is to take it into an actual courtroom and let them feel the
Yeah.
experience of that.
Yeah.
So when you're doing that program, how long is it, or like what is the ultimate goal? Is there an ultimate goal in the end? So say for instance, you have those kids that are like, I think this is what I want to do. Is there something that they can continue, or is there other resources for them to continue to pursue it?
Well, what we would like to do is make sure that we be consistent with offering this
Okay.
program. So
Each year.
we're trying to get back to that. So that's the first step. And then the next step after that is making the connections, having the adult individuals, the various lawyers, the various judges be available for any type of phone calls or any type
Okay.
of tutoring and things of that nature, so we can have that connection between the kids and the adults. And then hopefully have those same kids come back
Yeah.
and participate
Right.
in the programming as various aspects of the program. Maybe having them come back and be someone who's the team leader, which we did. We had some young attorneys that were from Waterbury come back, and they were members of the Links, and they were able to help out with those things.
Nice.
So we did have some give back in regards to younger attorneys that had just passed the bar. So
Oh, nice.
so that was there. And so the biggest thing is trying to get the consistency back again, so we can offer something like that on
So,
a regular
like,
basis.
You mean offering it maybe more than once a year, or just
Yes,
once
exactly,
a year?
exactly. And maybe more than once a year
Okay.
if we can do that.
So, being a public defender, again, we
Yes,
know it
ma'am.
may not be an easy task. Oh, how do I say your list or your rotation of getting clients is not a choice, right? Because you get whoever's up next, or how does that work
Okay.
on a
So,
daily basis for you?
so as everyone knows, the Constitution, the U.S. Constitution, and also the state Constitution, um, makes it law that if you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you. And what that means is that if you cannot afford legal representation, we're here. We're mandated and constituted by the state of Connecticut to provide legal representation upon being appointed by the judge or the court. So that's how we get our cases,
Okay.
by appointment.
Okay.
Is there times where we have conflicts? Yes. So in other words, if I represent person A,
Mhm.
but there's also a person B and a person C, and they've been charged with some sort of conspiracy to commit some particular charge. Person A will stay with me.
Okay.
We have what we call assigned counsel or special public defenders. These are attorneys, private attorneys that have contract with my division, and then we'll ration out person B and person C, so there's no conflict. Obviously, we can't represent all
Both
three
parties,
because
yeah.
all three may have
Yeah.
different interests. So we can only represent one. So I usually get that first one, and then those other two will be given special public defenders or assigned counsel, and that's how those conflicts will be worked out.
I notice is you can't answer this. Uh, Maybe you can. Is it harder representing Black and brown people than it is representing any other in the court system itself? Not on a personal level. I just mean as far as rules and regulations go. Do you find you got to go through so much more when you have to represent someone of color?
I would say that if you're doing your job right, the answer is no.
Okay.
Because if you're because at the end of the day,
Hmm.
you're representing the marginalized, and that could be anybody.
Anybody?
You're representing the unfortunate, and that
Okay.
could be anybody.
Okay.
You, the condemned, and that can
Mhm.
be anybody. But I will say to you that um, obviously the topic of race is very high. It's a hot topic within our criminal justice system. I think for myself, um, since I do have a good foundation in terms of how I go about handling people, I have a keener eye. I have a sense of responsibility
Okay.
to want to make sure that I dot all my I's and cross all my T's to make sure that I'm doing the right thing by those clients.
Hmm.
And to this point, I think I've done an excellent job. But I will say to you that it is tough because of how the system is created and how it works.
Okay.
We have to be on our P's and Q's,
Mhm.
and we have to watch out for those things. Um, I've been fortunate enough to be able to talk about race
Okay.
with colleagues within the division
Mhm.
and also with judges and who have listened. Um, my division, I believe, does a very good job at educating young attorneys to be ready for those fights. But it's not for the faint. It's
Yeah.
not for the ill.
No.
It's
Okay.
for those people who are ready to do the fight.
Really want it.
And I think that to a certain degree, it's not a perfect science, but to a certain degree, I think we do a pretty good job at making sure that those liberties and those freedoms are protected to the best of our abilities.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Not that I thought any different. You hear different things, but unless you're in it, you don't know. So that's why the question came up. Not, I didn't think you would be
No, I
treating anybody any
no,
different
no,
based off of their color.
But
I
it's,
I
but it's real
appreciate,
though.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
You know what I mean?
appreciate the question because unfortunately, there's a lot of myths
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
attorneys that work for the public defender's
Right.
office. I mean, there's been a lot of discussion about us even changing our names, public defenders,
Okay.
and instead of public defenders, maybe public attorneys,
Mhm.
because some people even think that there's a difference between an attorney and a public defender.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah. I've
at
heard
the
Those
that.
words.
at
Yeah.
the at the end of the day,
You
I took
still
a bar
lose.
exam.
Mm-hmm.
I passed it.
Mm-hmm.
I can show you my law license on my wall.
Yeah.
I can show you my law school bills that I paid for.
Right.
I took the bar 2 days, 8 hours per day, passing that bar. I can leave the public defender's services and go
Go
put
be
up
an
my own
attorney.
shingle
Right.
and start practicing law right
Yeah.
then and right there.
So
And I've been asked to do that, but at this point in my career, this is what
This is where you're needed.
this is where my passion is. This
Yeah.
is where I think I'm needed at this point.
Right.
Still.
And that's a true statement, what you just said. Attorney versus public defender. People automatically think they work for the state, they're not going to give 100%. And,
And I think a lot
they
of the
don't care.
myths come from not being educated,
definitely.
because you got to also remember, you don't know what that attorney and that client went through to get that client that disposition.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know the conversations that were had between that client
Right.
and that attorney. You think that a deal was just made and that attorney didn't do everything necessary, but you don't know that for true. You don't know that for sure. You don't know the time that goes into it. You don't know whether or not that particular person has a record around the block. And those prior convictions may come up to haunt that person if you do go that route. You don't know how much time went into pre-negotiations to get that particular offer. So there's a lot of things that a lot of folks don't know that leads to the myths.
Right. I agree.
And we're trying to dispel them as best as we can. But you do that by the work.
Right.
Yeah.
You do that by the work.
And like you said, when people come up to you and say, I remember you, thank you.
Yeah.
Your work speaks for itself.
Exactly.
And so,
Mhm.
right. Oh, listen, you know what? I'm learning so much. I'm just sitting here like, whoa, okay.
Yes.
So what else are you passionate about?
Besides helping people, like I said, I wear a lot of hats, but I consider
Right.
myself a servant. And I really think that a person's character is very important, and putting it into work in the streets and the community in terms of where is going to matter. So I'm all about community service. I'm all about empowerment. I'm all about a lot of things that my own fraternity puts forth, and that's manhood, Christian manhood now. Scholarship, education, academics, perseverance, making sure that you continue moving in that right direction amidst any type of hurdles or challenges. And at the last point, upliftment or uplifting of the
Being there,
community.
yeah.
That's what we do on a daily basis. And that's what I'm passionate about. Hey, listen, being a father, believe it or
Yeah.
not, being a father is something that's very important to me. I was just having a conversation with myself the other day, and you tend to ask the higher being, the higher person, God, whatever you want to call that supreme
Mhm.
being, for patience. And what he does is he gives it to you as in ways where you may question it, but if you really think about it, he's giving you what you need to gain what you're asking for.
Right.
So when I asked for that, my 3 kids pop up
Mm.
right in front of me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's
That's
how I'm going to learn patience,
yeah.
by dealing with these 3.
Yeah.
Because that's a tool that he's given me to get that particular trait about myself better. So mobilizing people, encouraging people. I firm believer of investing in who we deal with. I love making people vested in what we do, because I think that's what makes everything work, and especially in the young folk. You got to invest in them. They have to feel that they have a purpose.
Right.
They have to feel that
You care.
you care, and most importantly, not that you are just giving verbiage,
Right.
but that
Gotta
you're
be
going
it.
to
They want to
be
see.
there.
Yeah.
It's
they
going
wanna
to be
see it.
substance. It's going to
Mhm.
be you being present. So, in other words, someone calls me up, hey, I heard you talking that day, and you was talking real good, but I need some help,
Yeah.
and I got to be there somehow. I mean, somehow I
Right.
have to be there, because I haven't elevated in the way that I have and can't give something back.
Give something back.
You got to
Yeah.
be able to give something back.
You do.
And that's where your fraternity comes in too,
Correct.
because you do it as a collective.
Correct.
And being men, which is usually dispelled by myths
Yes.
that men are not there.
Yes.
Or husbands, or fathers, or there's so many single women out here, whatever whatever that is. So I appreciate you saying, being a father
Yes.
is important. And at the same time, just like with the village, you're being part of the village, of others too.
Correct.
Not maybe not a father figure,
Mhm.
but still being there for others. And the fraternity, that's where, like you said, the best, what did you say? It was
The best fraternity ever. The
Ever.
greatest
The
fraternity
greatest.
ever
Right.
founded.
Right. But the things that you guys are doing in terms of with the youth, whether it's male or female, but with the youth, and showing that strength and showing that it's possible to be, the best person you can be.
Correct.
And because you all are showing it.
Correct.
It's not just talking,
Correct.
you're not just having lectures with them.
Correct.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So
I mean,
that's,
one of the biggest things that we've been doing since 2002, I'm sorry, 2022 to be exact, was our assault against illiteracy.
okay.
And that's a social action. We have 12 mandated, 13 mandated programs that we do, and one of them falls under social action and doing things in the community that focus on voter registration, upliftment, and in regards to justice and the political system here in Waterbury or any place where we have a chapter at. But also reading is very important. So twice a year we go and we deal with the Now Center
Okay.
and also the Y. They have 3, 4 different locations that we go and read to child, school, age kids, book appropriated reading, Dr. Seuss books and things of that nature. But
So like Head Start.
yes,
age.
exactly. But the biggest thing is that the impression that you leave, because you get called by the people who are running the programs when you guys coming back.
Nice.
The kids ask for you guys
They
to come
love
back,
it.
Yeah.
and luckily we have the best colors too for
Mhm.
Mega Sci-Fi.
That's true. That's
Purple
true.
and gold.
Purple's
You
my
can't.
color.
I mean,
Purple was
I mean,
our wedding
purple-
color.
yeah,
though.
purple
it
and
was,
gold. I
yeah.
mean, that's royalty.
Yeah,
too.
it
That's
is royalty.
That's
My
royalty.
Yeah.
shop
Oh.
was purple.
There you go.
It was.
So they always say, "Where's the guys? Where's the men in purple, go? We're coming back. We're
Yeah.
coming back. Don't worry about it." So
Yeah.
yes, so that
Yeah.
brings a lot of joy to
Joy.
us.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
So,
very important because
yes.
reading is so important.
exactly.
I like to give books when people have
Me too.
babies. I like to
Yes.
give books on
Yeah.
birthdays.
I don't do
And
toys.
some people, don't understand it, but reading to them, and then before you know it, they're reading to you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My
You know,
grandson
so
is-
it's very important.
Yep.
Exactly.
He loves it. And he knows the routine when it's time to go
Yeah,
to
because
bed.
we don't want to miss those children. I was
Yeah.
somewhere the other day when they were, and a young lady stood up and said that she has children, young adults that are in high school and that they don't know how to read. And we say to ourselves, how do we get here? Nobody's paying attention is how we got here for one reason,
Yes.
and it starts at home. Like that, I'm going to
It does
blame on
start
the
at
people.
home.
And I'm not
Absolutely.
blaming it on the parents, but I'm saying it starts at home.
Right.
I'm not, because I don't know what goes on in anybody's house, but to make it all the way to high school
And not be able
and not be
Yeah.
able to read,
And the
especially in
system,
this
too.
day
It's
and
a
time.
combination of it all.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? Because
Well, no child left behind. So
yeah.
what does that mean? We're not
Right.
leaving you behind, regardless of what you
exactly.
know or don't know.
Yeah, but
and
you're
I
not
don't.
giving them the foundations.
Yes.
Right.
And the
foundations.
fundamental.
Yes.
Yeah.
The fundamental things that they need. To
Yes.
read.
Reading and writing.
Right.
Correct.
Because what I noticed vending one time down at the Soul Fest, and there were some teenagers that came over to the table and they had to write their name.
Mhm.
When I tell you their handwriting looked like toddlers.
Wow.
I mean, really, it was really
Wow.
bad.
Yes.
And
or
then
they don't do cursive. When you say sign, signatures,
Yeah,
They don't
so
even know what
long.
that
Yeah,
means.
they don't know what it
Signature
is. They
Not
don't know
even.
what it is. Yeah.
But still, even writing though, printing should be legible.
Correct.
But I mean, when I tell you, it looked like a toddler writing it.
Yeah, but
And
you
I
said it
felt like
right.
I wanted to just sit with all of them to
Yeah,
teach
well,
them how to
yeah,
write
yeah,
their names
yeah,
at
yeah.
that time.
But it's the
Exactly.
system, because I know
Yeah.
somebody that has an ID and it says their first name,
Mm.
and I'm like, huh?
Wow.
They let you sign this with not your last name, so we're letting them get away with it,
Yeah,
and
it's
we
the
do have
shortcuts.
to.
It's
Yeah,
the
It is
shortcuts.
the
It's
shortcuts.
a lot of
Yeah.
shortcuts that are being done right
yeah,
now
Yeah.
to the detriment of our younger generation.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely. So that
But this is
Keep
why.
up the good work
Right,
is all I
was
could
gonna
say.
say.
Like,
Yes.
hats off
Yes.
to you and
Yeah,
your
no,
fraternity.
you guys.
It's something that we're passionate about. So we're gonna continue
Yeah.
moving in that direction.
And you can reach kids all type of ways. Like I did s- my job that I worked for. I had to kind of set up my iPhone and read a book. Do it. Take a video of myself reading a book.
Oh,
I see.
okay.
So now
I
they'll
see.
take the video
Okay,
and they'll
then use
send it
Yeah,
out to
gotcha.
these children. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? So,
Gotcha.
and I said, wow, that's pretty cool because I didn't even think about doing that even with my grandchildren.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You can't always get to people. So there are ways that we could reach these children
Right.
if we, just put our minds
And
to
and,
it.
and it's just not. We just don't go there and just read. We focus
Interact.
on
Yes.
comprehension.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me what I just read.
Yes. Yes.
What did you get out of
Yeah,
this?
Get
what
a
is
little
that about?
excited
Yeah.
as you're
As
reading
a matter
to
of fact,
them.
come here
Yeah.
and read this line with me,
Right.
and they enjoy it
Right.
because you're interacting with them.
Right.
So it's just not going there and sitting down and reading a book. You are interacting with
Mhm.
them, and they love it.
Right.
They love it. So it's something that if we take more advantage of, it'll get better over time.
Yeah.
No, it definitely will. I just think about when I grew up and I would say to my mother and father, well, what does this mean? You better go get the encyclopedia. Ooh,
Exactly.
I'm sorry if you don't know what encyclopedia means out there,
Right.
but
Oh,
they
yeah.
would not tell me what the
Every
word
dictionary,
means or
yes,
how do I spell
absolutely.
X,
Go
Y,
look-
and Z.
yeah,
You
go look
gotta
it
go
up.
look it up,
Oh, yeah.
sound it out,
Oh,
and
yeah.
look it up.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
yeah,
Go look it up. I mean, you're walking around with a phone that is, if you use it the right way, can be such a big asset.
exactly.
That can lead to so many positive things. So we have the resources per se, but we're just not holding them accountable.
Accountable.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's what
I
it is.
agree.
Yeah.
So we just got to do a better job at doing that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Wow. We touched about a lot of things
Yeah.
today.
Did we miss anything
I
that you
know.
want to share about the job that you do, the wonderful job that you do downtown?
Well,
here?
I will say to you that my division, I've met a lot of people over almost 18 years of doing the work that I'm doing, and I can tell you that they're very passionate about what they do. In every form or field, you have good and bad and everything, right? So if you only focusing on whether or not they're good or bad public defenders, well, they're good and bad teachers.
Right.
They're good and bad
everything.
police
Everything.
officers.
Right.
So
all
yeah.
aspects of life. Yeah.
so the biggest thing though is that I believe that the division, through its mission statement, and which is to provide compassionate, zealous, holistic, legal, and competent legal representation. I think that still holds true today.
Mhm.
I think that my division is making a push to get the newer attorneys to be vested in what they're doing. I know that I'm trying to do that in Waterbury, meaning that give some time back
I was
to
going to
the
say, you take
community.
somebody under your wings.
To the
teach 'em.
community that you are representing on a
Yes.
daily basis. That's why I'm able to walk around Waterbury. That's
Mhm.
why I'm able to move around Waterbury.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not afraid to walk around Waterbury.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not going to come here and represent you and not be a part of the community to which I come into on a daily basis to represent folks. In the state of California, they do a very good job with their public defenders out there. They are always in the street. So with that being the case, they have these relationships. Because what you find out is sometimes you catch a case or you assign a case and you have a client that doesn't actually sum up to the allegations, but no one in the community is talking because they're scared
Yeah.
or they don't want to get involved. Well, if you have a relationship, you may be able to find some more information about that case that helps your client.
Right.
And those public defenders out in California, they do a very good job at doing that. And I think that we're getting better at doing some of those things in terms of getting attorneys out there, getting our investigators out there, and just doing the work while we're representing the clients in the courthouse.
And I hope when people listen to this interview, watch this interview, that they get a different perspective of a public defender.
I hope so too.
Listening to you, it was a very good interview because we didn't know a lot of what you're telling us. Like, I don't know any public defenders on a personal level or really sat down and talked to any. You hear all the myths and you hear all the negativity. Hire a lawyer, hire a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? So, and we hope that there are other passionate, down there where you're working at feel the same way that you do, because I think that's important. I need to feel comfortable. I need to feel that you're working for me. I need to feel that you're not behind closed doors working with the opposition to get the best deal.
Well, let me also say this, that we're working in an environment, in a society right now. It's not really what you know, it's who you know.
It's who you know.
And
relationships.
And I've been in that building for almost 18 years. So I know a lot of people.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you want an attorney that knows people in that building, that has the respect of the judges, have the respects, more importantly, of the state's attorneys. And the state's attorney, they have a very good office. I believe they do seek justice. And, again, it's the system.
Right.
It's the system that we're talking about here. But I believe you have a system that does work, but needs to be, and that's another conversation we can have, right? So we're working as best as we can to do the best work by our clients. And a lot of folks don't really get that education because sometimes the system works so fast where you get to see somebody and then you don't get to see anybody and the machine just moves. Luckily for me, I'm able to kind of slow it down and get to know folks, and most importantly, get to know their families, and get to let them know who I am.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I just think that that's the way it works for me.
That's important.
Everybody does it a little differently, but that's how it works for me. And I've learned from some good people that's been there before me.
I think that's important to meet the family, when you can. You may not always be able to, because you do need not everybody's buy-in, but people need to feel comfortable that their loved ones
are being represented properly.
Yes.
Are in the right hands.
Yes.
That somebody that really, and I've been using the word care through the whole conversation, but that's what it really is.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It is
taking your position seriously, because they know that their life is in your hands at the moment. You know what I mean? So if my life is in your hands, I need you to act like it, right?
I think what has served me in such a way is that in terms of my position, I've been able to be brutally honest with folks.
And real.
Real. About
That's it.
what you're facing,
right?
What the problems are. And I know, I don't say think anymore. I know that has served me in a positive way. People leave me with more education. They leave me with a sense of he's going to do something. They leave me with knowing that I do care. But I do let them know the ins and outs. I do let them know exactly what they're up against and what we need to do to maneuver, what we need to do to get to the end result, and what we think the end result may be.
Right. Because nobody wants to walk through 400 Grand Street doors.
No.
Nobody. I don't care what you do or how you do it. I don't care who you are. No.
I've told folks a lot of times, listen, I have to be here.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Right.
Didn't we talk last time about not coming back? Why are you here? But, there's other things that a lot of folks don't want to take into consideration, too, about society and our environment and how a person got there.
Right.
And that's where the holistic part comes in.
Right. What's
finding out those things to better represent your clients when you're talking to the judges and the prosecutors who may not have
that
insight, the idea they don't know of what it is to be in that environment. Right. So,
well, like we said, it can keep going.
Yeah.
Right? We can keep going.
We would definitely have you back.
Well, one more thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Talk about your achievement week and what's going on this week with the fraternity.
Great. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Well, this year we celebrating 114 years of being in existence. Okay. Again,
congratulations.
Thank you. November 17th, 1911 is when we started at the historically black College of Howard University.
Wow.
And from that point forward, we've just been doing God's work and making friends. Our motto is friendship is essential to the soul. Every year we have an achievement week. Actually, It kind of kicked off yesterday,
Okay.
unofficially, because it runs from November 10th through the 17th.
Okay.
But yesterday, my brothers were at Zion Baptist fellowshipping with the Reverend Pastor, Reverend Anton Richardson, who's also a
Oh, is
part
he?
of our
Okay.
fraternity as
Okay.
Oh,
well.
nice.
Yes,
Okay.
so we were there fellowshipping with that church tonight. We have a social gathering with hopefully a lot of members of the D9, the Divine Nine, inside Waterbury. So we're hoping that some of the Deltas come out. We're hoping that some of the Alphas come out. We're hoping some of the Zetas come out. And whoever else we invited, we hope to come out to Sliders tonight to just celebrate, to kick it off the week. Tomorrow we have a bowling event where the focus is bringing non-perishable items because we're in partnership with St. Vincent Shelter for our second annual food drive. So we're going to use whatever we get from tomorrow's event to to promote that and to also fund that. Wednesday we got a day off. Thursday we're partnering with you guys for a men's health program, which is always important to get that information out there and have that arena, have that space for men to come in and talk about their health. Friday we have another social event that will deal with just gathering again and being amongst friends. Saturday we're off because actually I have to be. I'm a judge in a mock trial.
Okay.
With Quinnipiac School of Law. So I'll be down in New Haven judging law school students on Saturday. And then Sunday we're back at Mount Olive. Sorry. We're at Mount Olive to end our week in that sense, fellowshipping with them. And then there's an event at the rec center. On the same day, later that afternoon, we'll be donating winter clothing.
Oh, nice.
And then Monday is actually Founders Day, November 17th, 1911. So we'll be together as a chapter, having a chapter dinner amongst the brothers. And that's how we'll end the week.
You got a busy week.
Yeah, I got a busy week.
Yeah.
Busy week.
But
I
it's
wanted to
all
make
wonderful.
sure that that
Good
we
stuff.
mentioned that.
Thank you
Good
for that opportunity.
Yeah. So listen.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so we're gonna wrap it up, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
And
ma'am.
how we wrap it up is give the audience one thing that you want them to take from this conversation. So whether it's to the youth, whether it's to the adult, just one tangible thing that someone could do or take from this conversation.
I will tell whoever's listening, it doesn't matter if you're young, middle age, old. I think we're living in a time today that it's most important to help someone who's less fortunate. At some point in life, we don't have everything. I mean, we may be short here, we may be short there. And I think now is the time to realize that we have to start helping each other. And what I mean by that is with every part or every aspect of a person's life, whatever is needed is what we need to do as a collective, as a group, as a race of people, is that we have to start helping each other get to where we need to be. Right now, we're going through unprecedented times. And if this is not going to make us get together as a community, then I don't know what will.
Yeah, what will.
So I'm saying to everybody who's listening, help someone. And it could come in any type of form. I don't care if you help the old lady carry her groceries from the supermarket to her car. Help that person. I don't care if you give a letter or a reference to someone who's going for a job. Help that person. I don't care if you open up your doors to volunteer work. Help that person, because sometimes volunteering work is therapeutic.
Yeah.
So you don't know what's needed.
On both ends.
Yes, you don't know what's needed, but helping is needed. So make sure you do that. on a daily basis or as much as you can. So
Thank
just
you.
help your fellow neighbor.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Yes.
that.
Thank you. Yes. So we're gonna wrap up. Thank you
Okay.
again.
No, it's
for
my
being
pleasure, ladies.
here.
I
It was an
appreciate the time.
honor.
It was
Great
my pleasure.
conversation.
Thank you.
And we are going to. Look. We got to
Catch
look at
us-
the camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got to look at the camera.
Yes.
Subscribe, share, and
Like.
like.
Yes.
Yes.
And if you have any questions for
Mhm.
our friend here, Attorney Green, you can put it in the comments.
Yes.
Reach out to us.
Mhm.
And
Get 'em to
and
him.
we'll make sure he gets it. If you have any questions about, maybe the fraternity and what the
Yes.
fraternity's
Yes,
doing,
we're happy to answer that.
yeah, whatever the fraternity's doing, if any way you want to help out,
Yes.
reach us and we will reach him.
Yes.
Sounds great.
All right.
And just to add to that, I am the vice bossless of the chapter. That means I'm the vice president.
I was
per
going to
se.
say, what is a boss?
Yes. So it's a vice president.
Give me a new
and,
word.
Yes, the vice bossless. So I am second in command. And those that don't know, the bossless is Michael Epps,
Okay.
who's a retired lieutenant from the Waterbury Public Defense, Waterbury Police Department.
Yep.
Correct. So
Mm-hmm.
and we have a host of people
Yeah.
that are also affiliated with the local
We got
chapter.
to have your whole chapter.
Please.
We got to figure out how.
Please,
We have
please.
to come. We have
We
to
gotta
go
go
in
to
the
them.
streets.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
We got
fine.
to
Come on through.
Tea and
There's not
Cornbread
enough
in the
room in here.
streets.
Come
right?
on through. Come on through. We'd love to have you.
Yes.
Yeah.
We would love to have you.
To highlight you
Yeah.
guys.
Yes,
we'd
love to have
Absolutely.
you.
We'll
All
make it
right.
happen.
Yes.
All
Thank you.
right.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you all that are listening.
Mhm.
And like I said, like, share, and comment. And we will
Like,
get back
share,
to
and
you.
subscribe.
And subscribe. Yeah.
Hit that
Yes.
We're doing
subscribe
good.
button.
We're doing good. Thank you all
Yes.
for
Thank
supporting
you
us.
again.
Because we are getting new subscribers on a daily basis. So that
Yes.
means whatever we're doing, people are liking it.
Yes. And
So
we
Yes.
thank
thank
you
you.
out there for that.
Yes, we thank you. We thank you. So have a great week.
Yes.
And if you don't take care of your body, where you going to live?
I love that.
She pressed the wrong. That's okay.
I pressed
That's
both
okay.
buttons.
That's
what
okay.
happened.